What up, YouTube? Elleix, come back at you with another video. Today we have a matchup featuring the Azeroth Koprulu Hyperwar Mod Versus Edition, which puts Warcraft 3 in the StarCraft 2 engine, in case you haven't already noticed, considering the fact that many of you were triggered by the Wisps mining minerals. Anyway, let's go ahead and introduce our players. Spawning on the top left-hand side of the map, it's our pink Night Elves player, Griffith, going up against his opponent. Spawning on the bottom left-hand side of the map, it's our blue Brood War Zerg player, Ryogin, who is a Grand Master level Zerg player. This should be awesome. If I'm not mistaken, I think Griffith is also a Grand Master player, but my memory is escaping me. Leave a comment down below if you know the answer to that. Anyways, looks like Ryogin going for the expansion in the natural base location. Nothing too crazy just yet, and I do think I saw a Wisp running around getting a scout in, but there's also a base coming down for our pink Night Elves player. So a good, clean gentleman's game of StarCraft. Super normal, nothing unusual about it. StarCraft. Yep, this is just it's a mob. It's not a real unit. Nope, just kidding. It's a Wisp. Getting some good scouting information here. The drone's like, get out of my house, bro. Chasing this thing down. But good on Ryogin, realizing he's not going to catch that Wisp and immediately putting that drone to work. Taking a look at the production tab. Excuse me, I did not have that. The Altar of Heroes on the way. Oh, sorry, Altar of Elders on the way. A Tree of Life, which is our main mining structure, which does melee attack for those of you not familiar with Warcraft. And what else? The Ancient of War, going to be our, I guess, I don't know, gateway equivalent. I feel like the Night Elves are the most Protoss adjacent of the Warcraft races, considering that the Wisps kind of like warp stuff in. You know what I mean? Anyway, the first archer on the field, this Wisp with a mouthful of minerals, not something you see every day, let me tell ya. The Zerglings running across the map, actually in a staggered position. This is not a bad move at all. I mean, if there was a unit like a scout or something running on top of the ramp or even running below the ramp, either way, one of these pairs of Zerglings would catch that. That is for sure. What is this? An Ancient Protector on the way as well. Interesting. So some kind of static defense coming down for our Night Elves player, but it looks like the Priestess of the Moon is out with the archers to support her. I'm not crazy, right? This is the Priestess of the Moon. Yes, it is. You'll be happy to know I'm doing better at making sure I call these units by their real names rather than the names that they spawn with. In this case, it would be Delas Moonfang, which I would totally call her if I didn't know any better. Anyway, oh no, this poor Wisp somehow surviving, and it has 65 HP, actually. That is interesting. How much HP do the archers have? They have 60. That seems pretty normal. What else is going on here? Why do I hear something being attacked? Okay, we had to rewind a little bit because I was driving myself crazy. They're right here. The Zerglings are attacking the rocks, but it's only a few of them. These Zerglings trying to distract the Night Elf player, but I don't really think this is going to... Yeah, these rocks, they have 2,000 HP. A few Zerglings on that. That would take literally years. We would all be old men and women by the time that happened, let me tell you. All right, here we go. Looks like the Glaive Throwers also on the field. Apparently not something that vanilla Warcraft players ever bother to build. Oh, nice. It looks like that Owl Scout spotting the Overlord on that pillar will push the Overlord out of the pillar and ultimately into its death by arrows. I never thought I would see an Overlord go down to arrows like from a medieval weapon, but you know, here we are. We're living in a weird time, man. First we had COVID. Now we have elves with arrows fighting sci-fi monstrosities. I mean, Zerglings are kind of cute. Kind of cute. I guess if you're not really, like, you know, with them in person, it'd be like owning a tiger, right? Like, I can say a tiger is cute, but if I saw one in real life, I would be a wreck. All right, here we go. Base number 3. Actually might go down for Ryogin. Ryogin consolidating his army and finally engaging the Warcraft 3 player. The hatchery at 40 HP will barely survive. Ryogin, your game sense is way better than mine. I have to give you credit. That was insane. Unfortunately, no queen will be available to heal this thing, considering the fact that this is a Brood War Zerg. It's just in the StarCraft 2 engine, and man, does it look good. The Brood War, one supply Hydralisks. So cool. Missile attacks level 1 has just finished up. These mobs getting cleaned up on the Zerg side of the map. Now, one thing to mention is you can destroy the loot for the Warcraft player. So although you can't pick up loot, as far as I know, as a StarCraft player, you can at the very least deny progression by destroying the mobs, preventing your Warcraft opponents from getting XP for their heroes, and also preventing them from getting loot. So that's a nice kind of, I don't know, way to balance things out. Ultimately, it would be cool to see the heroes in, StarCraft 2 versus Warcraft 3, but at the same time, there is an argument to be had for keeping the essence of both factions, or both, I guess, games, both factions. What am I saying? Both games, you know what I mean? So adding the heroes to the StarCraft 2 races and the Brood War races in this case would just be a little bit, we would deviate from the theme, is what I'm getting at. Anyway, Lurkers on the way for our Brood War Zerg player. The Priestess of the Moon still at level 1. So one other thing I noticed is that the heroes for the Warcraft players tend to kind of level up slower as compared to what they were previously. I think my very first cast of this mod was maybe about a year ago. One of my all-time best videos, by the way. It popped off 200,000 views, which is insane. I'm not a huge YouTuber, but yeah, it was really popular, but way less balanced. I will give you that. Anyway, that poor Overlord just getting attacked from all angles. It did not deserve that. They're basically space cows. They don't do anything. They just hang out and float around. What a wild death for that Overlord. Rest in peace. Moment of silence. Okay, moment of silence is done. The Lurkers running around. They look so cool. I just like the Brood War skins in the StarCraft 2 engine. It looks so much more gritty to me than the actual StarCraft 2 models, An engagement here on the Zerg side of the map. Griffith trying to kite some of these Zerglings and actually doing a great job whittling all of them down. Ryogin deciding to pull back, morph some more Lurkers, and rebuild his army. Taking a look at the resources lost, relatively even, but in favor for our Zerg player. 2,500 resources lost exactly for our Pink Night Elves player, to 1,800 by our blue Brood War Zerg player. The Priestess of the Moon here, being very brave, running around alone. She could easily get surrounded by Zerglings if she's not careful, or taken out by those Lurkers. What a big pickup for Ryogin. Is it Ryogin or Ryogin? I'm going to take a look after this cast to make sure I'm saying his name right. Oh man, here we go, the Tree of Life. Doing some damage, but ultimately going down. That was base number 4. The Lurkers here as well, preventing our Night Elf player from really engaging this army properly. And man, that is a build that really grinds my gears, especially as a Protoss player. I keep losing my observers. I just don't have good control over them. To be fair, though, all my time dedicated to StarCraft 2 is casting it. I don't know the last time I played ladder. I'll have to go and double check and let you guys know. It's a disgusting amount of time since I actually played StarCraft in a more competitive setting, considering I'm pretty much the mod guy now. Oh, this Ancient Protector is a detector, though. We'll be able to throw rocks at the Lurkers, literally killing Lurkers with rocks. Not something I ever thought I would see in my StarCraft 2 career, but then I started covering modded games, and now I guess nothing should surprise me, but somehow things still do. This Lurker, though, still alive with 0 kills to its name, literally. I wonder if you unburrow the Ancient Protector, does it lose detection? That is something that I am curious about. The Owl Scout is a detector, but unfortunately, it's only a temporary unit. Griffith just spamming the keyboard. I understand, man. Like I said, this build, just Lurker Hydra, I mean, at this point, it's just Lurkers, but Lurker Hydra makes me crash out, legitimately. It's not a good look, you know, but it's fine. I can take accountability, and I have the self-awareness to know that's not a good look to crash out over Lurkers. Oh, all this stuff getting canceled, though. The Ancient Protector being built just kind of a little bit further back away from the range of the Lurker. I gotta see if the Ancient Protectors detect when they're unburrowed, because that's all you would need. What other detection options do the Night Elves have? I wonder. I'm not an expert when it comes to Warcraft 3. The last time I played Warcraft 3, like multiplayer, competitively, was when I was a child. I'm 32 years old now. For a second, I forgot how old I was. I'm at that age where you forget how old you are. I thought I was 31 last week, and I'm like, wait a minute, no. 31 was a year ago. I'm 32. Oh, my God. Next thing you know, I'm going to be dead. Ugh, mortality, man. It's a scary thing. Ooh, Drop Lords with Lurkers. Ryogin. I love to see it, man. This is going to be insane to watch. The Night Elves with their Shadow Meld will be cloaked until they start moving, but it looks like this is going to be a multi-pronged attack. We got the Zerg army in the front, and in the back, the Overlords, the MVPs of the game, going into the main base. The Zerglings and the Mutas taking out the Ancient Protectors. Meanwhile, the Lurkers burrowing in the mineral line, immediately destroying that tree of life. We have Zerg units everywhere. I almost called them probes, the Wisps. Long distance mining now because they don't have anything to drop off in the main base, but there's no movement to make them retreat. They're all moving into the Lurker spines. Oh, the Priestess of the Moon going down as well. I just choked on my own tongue, man. This is insane. Okay, yep. There's just carnage literally everywhere. This is all from one player. This Tree of Life will go down. I would cancel this Wisp because then you can start attacking. It actually decided to unburrow, trying to defend itself. Ultimately, it will go down. These Lurkers are taking a break, but they did their job, man. The entire main base has been vacated for our Night Elves player. He still has an army, though. Are we entering a base race situation? I think we might be. Oh, just as I said it, Griffith is like, you know what? Just kidding. We're not doing a base race. We are going to defend, taking out one of those Lurkers and ultimately taking out a lot of the Zerg army. But look at this. Our Zerg player is maxed out and our Night Elves player is at 139 supply. The Zerglings here taking out a lot of the archers, and it looks like based on the movement of this Zerg army, Ryogin, he's going for a multi-pronged attack once again, distracting the army and then moving a little bit of a strike force into the third base. The Ancient Protector unburrowing, but they move so slowly, unfortunately, that they will be taken out. Griffith throwing out the GG, giving the victory to Ryogin. What a sick match, but that was a short one, so stay tuned. We're going to cover one more. All right, guys, welcome to game number 2. This matchup will feature Ryogin, but versus a different player, so let's go ahead and reintroduce them. Spawning on the top right-hand side of the map, it's our blue Brood War Zerg player, Ryogin, going up against his opponent. Spawning on the bottom left-hand side of the map, it's our red Undead player, GonaLord. And man, I think the Undead are probably my favorite race aesthetically, at least the ones that are ported in to StarCraft. They just look like they belong here, man. So cool. Anyway, a scout running across the map for both players, it looks like. Actually, no, the Overlord, as it should be for our Zerg player, but movement on the map nonetheless. The Acolyte will spot that there is likely going to be a hatchery based on the movement of that drone. But what is going on here? Ziggurats being placed on creep. Oh my God, what is going on? Oh my God. What a third Ziggurat. So the issue with the Ziggurats is you have to upgrade them to do any sort of damage. So this is like kind of a cannon rush. This one getting canceled. Will this one on the left-hand side get canceled as well? The fact this Acolyte is still alive is also hilarious. GonaLord, mad respect for doing something that we never thought possible, which is undead structures on creep. I guess the creep is blight, but still, that is legitimately hilarious. This is insane. Anyway, the Ziggurat ultimately will go down. I think, yep, that was not necessarily cost-effective for our undead player, but you got to give it to him. He's experimenting. That was super cool. The fact that we know that we can do that now in this mod, I think is going to change the meta where UVZ is concerned. Yep, I also never thought I would say that. UVZ or ZVU. ZVU sounds a lot better. UVZ just sounds like an STD or something. Anyway, back to the show. Back to your regularly scheduled programming. Looks like Ryogin, excuse me, not really shaken up by that attempted kind of Ziggurat / cannon rush, which I wouldn't expect a Grandmaster player to be. Just going for his build order. Meanwhile, an expansion coming down for GonaLord as well. Taking a look at the production tab, looks like the Altar of Darkness is finishing up. Where is it? Is it on the right-hand side? Yes, it is right here in the middle. There we go. We will see a hero here shortly. I'm sure of it. And it looks like it is going to be the Lich coming out for our red undead player, but I see a lot of movement on the map. Looks like Zerglings running across the map. Now, what we typically see where the meta is concerned for this mod is a lot of static defense for our StarCraft 2 players, but instead, Ryogin going for aggression with the Zerglings, which I really like to see, man. And there is no static. Oh, no, there's static defense right here. The Nerubian Tower will do cold damage to these Zerglings and slow them down. The ghouls, though, chasing after the Zerglings. Again, not something I ever thought I would see in my life. The Zerglings, though, just a little bit too fast, but the Lich is now out on the field. It still needs to be leveled up, and in fact, it has been. Has the Frost Nova spell chosen as well. Will this Acolyte go down? No, it won't. Looks like Ryogin just deciding to sacrifice these Zerglings and leave them as scouts. Ultimately, we'll go down to the Nerubian Tower. A third base already down for our Brood War Zerg player as well. Taking a look at the units, looks like 20 ghouls to 30 drones, and I guess 5 Acolytes as well. So the Acolytes, they will, I guess, mine gas, not gold. And yeah, and the ghouls, they gather minerals. So ghouls carrying minerals. I guess it looks less cursed than a wisp carrying minerals. Some of you said that the wisps should haunt the minerals, which I think would look pretty cool, actually. Anyways, this Lich here, just, was that a one-shot on the Overlord? Is that what we just saw with the Frost Nova? Blast enemy units with a wave of frost that deals 100 damage to the target. And the Overlord has 200 health, so maybe it was already damaged. I did not get a good look at it. The Crypt here coming down in the natural base location for our red undead player. Meanwhile, some Zerglings running across the map to the natural base location. Will they be able to do any damage? Zergling speed is finished. And no, looks like deciding to run back home. But that opener, man, I still can't get over that. Building Ziggurats on, it's Ziggurats, right? Is that what they were? Yeah, on the creep / blight. Insane. I'm speechless. I'm legitimately speechless. Anyways, both players now playing a good, clean game of StarCraft, even though the beginning was anything but, if I'm being honest with you. The third base looking pretty healthy. What is this? It's going to be a creep colony coming down for our blue Zerg player. They will ultimately morph into sunken colonies, which you may as well, because you kind of need the creep colonies to spread creep as Brood War Zerg. The Crypt Fiends getting surrounded by those Zerglings. Not a bad pickup at all. So in high-level StarCraft, pretty much every single unit counts. So those little pickups add up in the long run. Now, taking a look at the resources lost, yep, it looks like our blue Zerg player is ahead in the resources lost. Taking a look at what else we got going on, looks like Lurker aspect is being researched as well. Ryogin going for the Lurkers once again. To be fair, they did do him very well in the last game. And these replays were sent in a pack, so I'm assuming these were played on the same day. I think there are observers in this game, as we saw them chatting in the last one, if I'm not mistaken. Oh, I like this, though. The Lurkers attacking the mobs. Not a bad move at all. Using the Zerglings to aggro all this stuff. Cleaning it up and opening up this expansion for later, although there is, I guess it's not a troll headhunter. It's a brigand, but it looked like a troll headhunter. Anyways, base number 4 on the way for our Zerg player. Meanwhile, GonaLord getting ready to expand as well, but it looks like these units actually, wait a minute. Oh, okay, these are skeleton warriors. For a second, I was like, did the mobs just respawn? I've never seen that before, but no, that is from the Lich, I'm pretty sure. Let's actually take a look. What else do we have? No, it's the Necromancer, excuse me, using the Raise Dead ability. Oh, man, this is not going to be a good engagement for GonaLord, I don't think. He just doesn't have enough stuff. Using the Scroll of Town Portal, immediately teleporting home, but still losing some of his Warcraft units. Oh, some of these other Warcraft units, though, they are late to the party. They're like, wait a minute, where is everybody? Where is the Lich? No, the Lich is at home. Sorry, fellas. He already left. So rest in peace, Undead units. That sounds a little bit like an oxymoron. Anyway, moving on. Looks like our Undead player actually is still only on 2 bases. Both players floating a bit of money. Both of them holding on to more minerals than gas. Ryogin, I mean, to be fair, these are more casual games, right? Like, what even is meta when you're playing against Warcraft units? So I'm pretty sure a lot of this is Ryogin just learning the game, kind of relearning the game, because if you're a professional StarCraft player or somebody who's in Grandmaster League and you're playing against something you've never seen before, you're going to kind of send out feelers, right? You're going to send units, attack, and then run away. GonaLord saying, wah. But he's got some good static defense here. I would like to see these Ziggurats upgraded, though, because they are not doing anything right now. The meat wagons here as well. I don't know. I know these aren't the reforged models, but these just look so good to me. I'm a little bit biased because we're also looking at, you know, a StarCraft backdrop, so I feel like just having a more high-definition map kind of helps out in making the models from the Warcraft player look more high-definition to me. Anyways, my voice is leaving me. I can feel it. I've been casting multiple videos today. I'm pre-recording a lot for my members. If you want to become a member, by the way, you will get early access to all my long-form content. Big shout out to all my members. I really appreciate you guys going the extra mile to support me. It means so much to me. Looks like some movement down here for our red Warcraft player as well. Cleaning up some of these mobs. Is the hero unit here, though, is the question. I don't think so. I would save those for my Lich to make sure I can level up properly. What units do we even have for our Undead player? Is the Lich on the map? I don't think so. Oh, here it is. Yep, level 2. Spawned with the name Rack Cold Skull. Pretty cool name, to be honest. Pretty metal name, in fact. The mobs down here also getting cleaned up. It's actually a pretty chill game, all things considered. The last game got to be pretty intense, but Ryogin, he's just playing himself a good, clean game of StarCraft, probably warming up his fingers, keeping his skills sharp for when he plays a real game, like a real vanilla game of StarCraft. This is just for fun, you know, it's a mod. Oh, man. Rat Cold Skull, though, taking a lot of hits from these lurkers. The Lich, to be more specific, but still able to stay alive. Do we have any detection? This would be the second time we're lacking detection for the Warcraft player. I don't know. I don't think he's got anything to detect with unless the Lich has a detection ability. Let's take a look. He is not a detector. He's got Frost Armor and Frost Nova. That's it. Nothing to detect these lurkers. This lurker has 7 kills. The one right next to it has 7 kills as well. 14 kills distributed amongst the 2 of them. Okay, what is going on here, though? Looks like a run-by of Hydras. Kind of in the middle of the map, really. Not really at base number 3 or base number 2, but able to distract our undead player nonetheless. What is this? An obsidian statue. Is this a thing? I did not know this was a thing. Again, I'm not a professional Warcraft person at all. I did not know that you have a mobile statue as an option for the undead. That is pretty sick. The Lurkers, though, burrowing in the front of this army. There is detection now, though, and it's the obsidian statue, actually, which is your detector. Not bad at all. The Lurkers going down, and this is actually looking pretty good for GonaLord. I gotta say, looks like some Frost Nova, if I'm not mistaken. Or was that Frost? Oh, no, Dark Ritual? I don't think it was Dark Ritual. Yeah, that sacrifices a unit. So Frost Nova on some of these units, but the mutas are out. They could get ensnared by the web, but that is not researched for our Warcraft player. The mutas trying to snipe these obsidian statues, denying or trying to deny the detection for the Warcraft player to keep these Lurkers alive. And what is this I see on the field? Okay, for a second I thought I saw an expansion, but no, that big red dot, that is our hero. What else does the obsidian statue do? Essence of Blight. Restores 10 hit points to nearby friendly units. And what else is this? Spirit Touch. Restores 3 mana, so it restores hit points and mana. That is crazy cool. I would like to see if this functions with the StarCraft units. Like if you had an ally that was Protoss or Terran or Zerg, would it heal and restore energy for the StarCraft 2 units? That would be so sick. Anyway, it looks like base number 4 once again under fire. The blue Zerg player is ahead in supply, but this undead army is looking really scary. Web ability is now researched. We'll see if it pulls down any of the flying units. We have Guardians on the field as well, though. This looks like a lot of stuff, man. A lot of anti-ground stuff, to be fair, with the Guardians. The Scroll of Town Portal used on these Warcraft units, taking them back home to safety. But is it temporary is the question. I think it might be. This army is out for undead blood. Now, Undead versus Zerg, I feel like this could be in a non-canon universe, right? Kind of like, I don't know, some mashup, like the Smash Bros. Version of Blizzard games. You know what I mean? It's like seeing Pikachu fight Mario or something. Oh, man, the Guardian taken down by the web. All things considered, even though GonaLord is way behind in supply, he's putting up a hell of a fight. I gotta give it to him. Ultimately, though, it looks like base number 3 going down, or will go down shortly at the very least. The Lich, level 9 right now, but also going down. Looks like this game might be in the pocket for Ryogin. And, yep, the Meat Wagon going down as well. The Crypt Fiends going down. GonaLord throwing out the GG, giving the victory to